Scientists are kept awake at night by these paradoxes. No solutions. A paradox is a declaration or a situation that appears to yield two completely opposite but plausible results or provides confirmation for something which goes against our instincts. Well, in this video, we will be talking about some of the paradoxes. Let's begin. What is inside a black hole? In physics, seeming paradoxes are simply problems that we have still yet to solve. The black hole information dilemma is among the most difficult problems in physics to solve. Quantum physics indicates that the data and things like a particle's mass as well as spin, the arrangement of particles that lead to the formation of a carbon molecule, and so forth could never be erased. It would be extremely difficult, and not quite impossible, to put two separate letters back together out of ash if they were burned. The slight variations in smoke, temperature, as well as ash content would nevertheless preserve data about the two letters. The problem is that black holes take the material up and afterward radiate it out as Hawking radiation over a really long time. So Hawking radiation, not exactly like the smoke and ash produced from a burning letter, includes no data about where it originated. All Hawking radiation is identical, implying that black holes obliterate knowledge about the universe. Physicists are getting very close to addressing this issue, and Stephen Hawking personally felt that information from particles entering black holes returns to the cosmos eventually. If that doesn't, we'll have to reconsider a lot of modern physics. Achilles and the tortoise. The paradox of Achilles and the tortoise is among Zeno of Elea's many theoretical debates on movement from the 5th century BC. It all starts with Achilles, the legendary hero, confronting a tortoise to something like a foot race. He promises to give the turtle a 500-meter head start to keep the system even. However, whenever the race begins, Achilles starts running far quicker than that of the tortoise, and by the time he reaches the 500-meter mark, the turtle has only walked 50 meters far beyond him. However, by the time Achilles reaches 550 meters, the tortoise has gone another 5 meters. The tortoise has moved further 0.5 meters, then 0.25 meters, after which 0.125 meters, and so forth by the time he reaches the 555 meters milestone. This cycle repeats itself over an infinite number of progressively smaller ranges, with the turtle always moving forward and Achilles always catching up. This illustrates that Achilles could never catch up to the tortoise no matter how close he gets to where the turtle has indeed been. He always has some ground to cover, no matter how tiny. Although obviously, we already know that he can outrun the tortoise. The answer is to conceive of Zeno's Achilles paradox as an illustration of how every finite value may always be split an endless amount of times, regardless of how little the divisions grow. This paradox lies in how human brains tend to approach statistical problems. It's termed just after a host of Let's Make a Deal, a game show that included this classic problem. There really are 3 doors to choose from. A car is parked behind one, while goats are hidden behind the remaining 2. You choose a door. The host then unlocks a second door, exposing a goat, then asks whether you'd like to switch to the only remaining door. Switching doors, according to the majority of individuals, has no benefit. There are 2 doors. Therefore, there's a 50-50 probability that one of them holds the car. Wrong. By swapping doors, you increased your chances of selecting the vehicle to 66%. The host has presented you with additional information since he needs to pick the last goat. If you choose a goat on your first try, changing will earn you the automobile at least 2 out of 3 times. If you've already chosen a car, switching will result in a loss. The dichotomy paradox. Assume you're about to go on a stroll down a street. You only had to walk midway there to get over to the other side. You'll also have to walk a fourth of the distance there to get halfway there. And you'd have to travel an eighth of the distance there to get a quarter of the way there. And well prior to that, it was a 16th of the distance there, then a 32nd, then a 64th, so on and so forth. To execute even the most basic of jobs, such as strolling down the road, you will indeed have to complete an endless amount of smaller actions, which is, by definition, impossible. Not just that, however, no matter how big or small the very first portion of the path is said to have been, it can still be reduced to create a whole other task. The one and the only manner it can't be reduced is to take into account the first leg of the trip to be of no length at all. Then, to finish the task of having to move no distance whatsoever, you probably wouldn't be able to begin your journey in the first place. So these are a few of the paradoxes that are quite interesting. So comment and let us know what you think about it.